In this class, we are going to talk about master data. The first part of the class is going to be dedicated to customer master, and the second part of the class is going to be dedicated to material master. But before we go and talk about the customer master and material master, let me give you a brief overview of master data. Right? So this topic is master data. How many different types of master data is there in SAP? Many different types. For example, the ones that we are interested in are customer master, material master, and condition records. These are the ones that we would be interested in as SD consultants. So as an MM consultant, probably he'd be interested in vendor master, and FICO consultant will be interested in asset master, and there are other pieces of master data that either SD or other consultants might be interested in. But for now, we would be focusing on customer master, number one, and number two, material master. We would talk about condition records when we visit pricing. But until that point, for today and tomorrow, the focus is going to be on customer master and material master. All right. Now, what is master data? Before we delve deep into the different types of customers, how we create customer master, so on and so forth, let's back up and understand what is master data. Now you might have this question as to, okay, as opposed to what? So master data as opposed to transactional data. So I'll give you some examples, and this will kind of make things very, very clear. For example, let's take the same case that we have been discussing as part of the order to cash cycle. HP was creating Walmart as a customer, right? So we'll be creating Walmart as a customer in our system. And let's say we create it with the name, number, address, so on and so forth, and then system generates a number for it, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, whatever the number is. Now this customer Walmart is going to be used in, let's say, a transaction. Today Walmart has placed a request for a quotation, and then you go to VA21 and create a quotation of type QT, and as you hit on save, you get a number, right? 10000006. This is a quotation number. Now for the same customer 1000, you could be creating as many quotations as you like, as many orders as you like inquiries, orders, so on and so forth. And once we finish servicing a quotation, meaning the expiry date has come and gone, or let's say if it is an order, we have delivered the order, we have billed the order, and then the customer has already paid for that order. Now that's it. This order is out of the picture. We don't regularly deal with that order anytime in the future unless for reporting or other purposes. So a transactional data is generally transient. Okay, it exists for a particular period of time, and it has everybody's attention for a particular period of time, and after that people start working on the next set of orders, next set of quotations, so on and so forth. But master data, in this case, let's say Walmart as a customer, will be used for eternity. The same number, 1000, let's say, maybe the address will change a little bit, phone numbers, contacts might change a little bit, but it's the same customer, and that customer will be used again and again and again. Okay, so let me characterize what I'm trying to say here. Master data is generally permanent. it is used again and again. Transactional data is transient, and it has focus only for a very short period of time. You look at an order for 3 months, 2 months, 1 month. Once the order is done, that's it. So a transactional data is time bound. After that, the only purpose a transaction exists is for reporting. Okay, how many orders did we do for last year? How many orders did we do for this customer? Right? The only purpose of a transaction is for reports. Master data, on the other hand, is permanent. It's used again and again and changes very little. Okay, maybe a couple of address changes here and there over a course of 1 or 2 years, or maybe a couple of phone number changes over a course of 3 or 4 years. Okay, now that we've understood the difference between master data and transactional data, let's move on to the first area of focus, the customer master. The customer master is divided into 3 parts or 3 views. Okay, 3 views. What are the 3 views? General data or general view, sales view or sales data. General view or general data. Finance data, or in other words, the technical word for it is called company code view. View or data, both can be used synonymously. Why is the customer data divided into 3 views? Let me give you a scenario. So here is our customer, let's say Walmart, and Walmart is not a good example in this case. Let's take a smaller and new customer. Let's say HP has, or the HP sales department has bagged a new customer, let's say a new corporate customer, and they've been negotiating with them, and finally they agreed to do sales with us, buy something from us. So the sales guy, let's say Brian, creates a customer in the system, and he is only interested in the sales view or the sales data of this customer. So he goes and creates the sales data, and as part of creating the sales data, he will also be forced to create the general data. So Brian creates the sales view plus general view, and then finally generates a number for that customer. Let's say ABC Incorporated. So ABC Incorporated, customer number 56789. All right, after he's done, he hands over this customer number to finance and says, hey, you know what, I've just created a sales view or general data of the customer. Can you fill up the finance data for this? Because Brian is not a finance guy. He doesn't know anything about financial data that needs to be relevant for that customer. So he's going to communicate with somebody in the finance department, say Charlene, and say, hey, you know what, I've created a customer 56789. Can you finish up the finance data for this? So Charlene, being the finance user, is going to take this customer and extend. It will be the same customer. Remember, it's not a different customer. All the 3 pieces here, the sales view, general view, finance view, are all pieces of the same customer. 56789 in this case. So Charlene is going to extend ABC Incorporated 56789 customer number to create the financial view. Alright, so she's going to create the financial part of it. Okay, now what transactions do we use for this? Brian being the sales guy, uses the transaction code VD01 to create, and of course 02 to display, and 02 to change, and 03 to display. The transaction used by Brian is VD01, and Charlene, being the finance user, uses the transaction FD01. Okay, now as a general rule, most sales transactions start with V. And financial transactions start with F. All right. Now let's see this in action. So let me play the role of Brian. Let me go create this ABC Incorporated as a customer in the system with this number, let's say 56789, and create the general view and sales view of the customer. Okay, and before I do that, here are our transactions: VD01 to create, 02 to change, 03 to display. Okay, now in order to find out that FD01 transaction, you'll have to go all the way down to the financial view and all that. It's not required. So if at all you require, I'll let you know where it is. So let me quickly log in. All right. Okay, so here is our sales transactions: master data, business partner, customer, create. So this is to create the sales view and general view of the customer. Now if you want to see the finance view or the finance transaction to create the customer, you'd have to go to accounting, financial accounting, think accounts receivable, and master records, and FD01. So let me take a screenshot of this as well, just for the record. All right, so this is the sales part, this is the finance part. All right, so these are the T codes. Now let me start by creating this in the system. So go to VD01, which is the sales transaction to create the sales view and general view of the customer. So VD01, and then over here make sure you select 001 for now. I'll tell you all about account group in a separate session. All right, so for now select 0001. Now make sure you remember what I talked to you about the account key 0001. If you don't have this account key enabled, make sure you get it enabled. So it was discussed as part of our GUI navigation class as an SAP GUI preset. So just revisit that class or revisit the video and see how to enable the account key, because this is where some of the students go wrong. You know, they'll be like, okay, where is 001 sold to? I got this, I got this, I got another one, but all of them could be wrong. It always has to be 0001 for a sold to for now, until you understand what a customer account group is and how you can create your own customer account group, so on and so forth. All right, we are trying to create a customer 56789, right? And then make sure you enter this sales org, this distribution channel, this division. Now, what is all this junk? Sales org, distribution channel, division. These are called enterprise structure elements. Okay, now it takes some time, or rather it will take a full-fledged understanding